Hello everyone, how's it going today? It is me, Zarek, here to bring you the best that Megaman has ever had to offer. This is the Megaman Zero series. I am super excited to be able to play this game for y'all. I've kind of been wanting to do this for a while, but I always thought I would just never really do the game justice. And on a lot of fronts, because Mega Man Zero is kind of like my favorite Mega Man series, more so than X or Battle Network. I feel like this is a good culmination of everything that built up from previous Mega Man and Mega Man X games. And I think, in my opinion, it overall respects the series in the way that it presents the world it's built and the characters. And a lot of it's not as, open or it's like shown as much as it's kind of like interpreted. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is probably just really more of like my own headcanon. But either way, like I still love this game and everything it has. So let's go ahead and get started into it. So we're going to be doing us a new game. Alright, and already at the start, it's just it's so good. I love like the art style that Indie Creates games have. You have that just like thumping music there, and just it feels so good. It immediately sets up the threat as like a overwhelming presence. Right from the get-go, you know that what you're dealing with is more than these people are able to handle. And here we are introduced to the plucky young heroine of the series. I'm kidding, she's not very plucky, but CL is a precious cinnamon bun that we must all protect for the rest of our lives. Here he is, our hero, everyone. Looks like we'll have an easy time, right? He's looking great. He's in great shape. Good old Zero. Oh, he's gone. Oh no, Milan! I may have played this game a bit. This part is a little sad, but it would be sadder if you knew more about how this works. So, Passy there is what's called a cyber elf, and she's basically like a special energy being made out of kind of like Reploid energy and consciousness kind of combined. So, and what they are, they're kind of like fairies, kind of like in the Legend of Zelda world, and they all have like a power that they have. But if they use that power, then they're like destroyed. And they just like cease to exist. So what Passy's offering is to sacrifice herself to be able to like rejuvenate Zero. And okay, the images here where it shows like these pantheon like warriors like slowly coming like through the blackness, and just like the red like eyes just get even closer. That's so good to me. It's simple. You don't need like $1 million CG budget to actually just like give a sense of like dread and impending doom coming towards you. You can do it with just like 2D pictures. It's so good. So good. No. Ah, the Elgato. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see if I can't. Alright, so yes, through past sacrifice, the legendary Maverick Hunter Zero has been resurrected. A man of few words, if you would. Help me, please. Alright, here we go. I'm going to be running through a lot of these games, and I'm just going to just talk about things as it comes, and I may kind of lose my place where I'm talking at times, just if something new comes up, so in advance I do want to apologize. But so much about this game is just amazing. So here we have kind of like what's basically like an escort mission, where you have to get CL out of this place, and depending on actually like how much damage she takes, what it will do is actually like reflect at the end of the stage. You have what's kind of like a score, like an overall like result score. But yeah, so these guys, these are the Pantheons, and I'll go over them a bit more later, but they are the basic like jobbers. They aren't actually like Reploids, like Zero and like Milan and some of the other like people that are the Resistance that we've been seeing basically get like ruthlessly like destroyed. What those Pantheons are, they're just kind of like drones, what's called like a mechanaloid. It's basically like a robot that just serves like basic functions, and for those, they're really more of like the stormtroopers of the series. That little scene there, it doesn't seem like it should be like enough, but what Zero's doing is really just more like his body is moving before his thoughts are. Like, see how it looked like she was in danger, so immediately he like leaps in to save her, and just it's good. It's good. Uh-oh, but the passageway collapsed. They're trapped. Unfortunately, he wasn't fast enough to stop that. Alright, so this is our first kind of like mid-boss, and this is what's called a golem mechanaloid. It basically has one function: to destroy and wreck face. But his basic pattern is fairly simple. He has the goes up laser, and then he has a go down laser, which drops the like building, like ceiling parts. And the fight goes on, but you're not supposed to like win that part just outright. Oh, there it is. After all, you can't have Zero without a sword. Oh, there you go. Ah, darn it. Screwed that up. Wasn't trying to hit her. That's the bad part. You can hit her too, and then it goes against your score. It's just one of those things. But yeah, in one swipe, you're able to destroy that golem. Whereas, as you could see from earlier, the rest of the Resistance fighters literally stood no chance against it. So of course, you have to be the legendary Zero. But oh no! Our hero has amnesia. Or wait, no, hibernation sickness. Sorry, there's a difference. That's what happens whenever you turn your PlayStation 4 off or unplug it without going to the quit screen. His memory ends up all over the place. But yes, this is Ciel. She's a scientist. Yo, let's go to our base before enemies arrive. And then Zero asks a very competent question. But what if I'm not the Zero you're talking about? Oh, but you proved me that you are by saving me from the golem. Only one person could have destroyed it. So she should consider herself lucky that, it worked out that well. Yeah, trans server is still operated. So this is what will be used for basically like our like teleportation needs. And I'll go over the rest of the options later. But this is our mission results screen. So as we can see, success 16 out of 20. Didn't do that great. Clear time coming faster. Enemy was good though. Damage was okay, and retry and elf. So all those little things all together make a score. And I believe 100 on the score is an S rank, and A is 90, give or take some other instances where it kind of like will eventually do like more of an average, but that's for later though. So welcome to the Resistance Base Zero. It's a shelter for injured Reploids who are suspected of being Mavericks. So for anyone that doesn't know what a Maverick is, or what's called like a regulars in the Japanese version, they are Reploids who have gone against their programming and are basically like violent and will really more in purposes like attack anyone, especially humans. Everyone knows the end is coming. That's why we've been looking for you. You're our last hope. You're supposed to think that Zero is nothing but a fantasy. However, few still believed in your existence and have looked for you. You are Zero, the legendary Reploid who fought with X to save the world 100 years ago. X, the name sounds familiar. That legendary Reploid is still alive and he's trying to retire us all. X is trying to retire you? See, Zero asks the proper question because X is a hero. He's, the main protagonist. He is the ideal Reploid. So to hear that he is actually the antagonist of this game is fantastic on a lot of fronts, because the idea of the hero's fall from grace is always tempting in any sense. Plans have already begun. Many instant Reploids are being retired as we speak. We need your help. Our future depends on you. Please help. No way. Actually, you need time to think about it? Okay, then we'll find a way to work it out ourselves. So if you change your mind, please talk to me. Okay? So, although I do hate to be mean to CO, there are some things I want to do and take care of it first. So first thing first, let's go to her room and grab the cyber off. So this room is only available if you have at least an A rank. So that's why you usually want to do good at the beginning, so you can hop in and take that. And now let's take a look at the resistance base that we have here. So let's start here on the top floor. And we have, here we go, precious little Alouette. She is basically Ciel's assistant, and in the case of the game, she also watches over cyber elves. I'm not really sure what her original design was, because she is a Reploid, so she is a robot that is basically being created for a task. So they don't really go into the details about what all it was about. But in the case, because of her childlike demeanor, you could imagine that she was there for more like comfort or assisting as far as like in stressful situations. Maybe she assisted at a shop. There are a lot of things you can do here. So it's just interesting to think about, because what Reploids are is they're robots, but they're basically given free consciousness. So in the original Megaman X game, Dr. Kane discovers X's body, who was sealed away by Dr. Light after his creation. And what made X so amazing is that he was basically given the ability to be a robot with free will, to be able to make choices. And it's mentioned in the comics how the original Mega Man never really had the pure ability of choice. It was really more of like he was just given programs to be able to make it seem like he could make choices, but in the end he was really just following like a basic set of commands. And people argue about whether or not, X was able to like break through that kind of like programming. That's what made him become X. There's a lot of fan theories there. I prefer to think that X is a different Reploid than Mega Man, but again, we'll never actually have like real confirmation about that, because heroes never die, right? No, they have to continue on forever so we can keep making games. Let's see. So I do know how to use the trans server, but we'll go and let him explain. But basically, it is a teleportation system to get to different places here in Neo Arcadia, which this whole game really takes place within Neo Arcadia, and to define it would be the last bastion for humanity. that's explained a bit more later, but basically most of the planet is a complete desolate wasteland due to the effects of the previous wars, most especially like, you know, the Maverick Wars, where Sigma basically tried to destroy all of mankind through multiple means. And here is our good friend Arthur. How is it going, Arthur? He is an old man Reploid, and he has a very interesting story that we'll be getting to later. Anyway, so got some more rooms here, but they're actually pretty empty. But you can go in and you can be like, oh hey, look at all these boxes. Neat, boxes. Okay, those are cool. But the boxes are not important. Then we'll head down to the bottom floor here. And we'll go ahead and talk to our genius scientist builder friend, Servo. Servo? He is super excited that looking at the Z-Saber. You want to talk again? Nope. Just still want to talk about the weapon. Okay, fine, you can introduce yourself later, that's fine. Anyway, he's just talking about the weapon upgrade system here. Basically, the more you use a weapon, the better and stronger, more abilities it gets. And that's notated by the stars underneath it, but we'll go into that later. What we may want to do is, now that we've talked to everyone and we see, you know, what all this place has to offer, let's go ahead and help out CL. They seem to be in a rough spot. With her help, she can save everyone. What she wants to do is try and see if no one has been able to do so far. Destroy the disposal center. Destroy the destroyer center. They retire comrades one after another. You know, speak, they are retiring a Reploid who is being wrongfully suspected of being a Maverick. To prevent any additional loss of Reploid life, please destroy the enemy facility. Yes. No, we won't save here. We'll save later. So this one is a little bit different than what would be known as later Mega. Well, actually, not even like what's known later. So, if anyone has played like a previous Mega Man game, then they know a lot about how the process works. You know, you pick your stage. Your stage has your boss, and then you just go for it from there. Gotta watch out for those things. They just come off the screen right at you. Gotta remember to grab those side rails when you drop them. Alright, so let's see. Where was I? So, I'm gonna lose my train of thought every now and then. So, just for the recap of anyone watching this later, if I do tend to just stumble off and like start talking nonsense or completely lose track, and you do want me to finish my train of thought, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will go into it in more detail. But let's see. So basically, yes, Neo Arcadia. Neo Arcadia is the last like place where humans can live, and that means a lot in the sense of. Oh wow, I did not sound. That's fine. Is if this is last place, then really there's not much to do. So what is this disposal center then? Well, what Neo Arcadia is going under is basically a giant energy crisis. And since Reploids are robots, they actually run off a type of energy and need energy supplies to be able to continue to live. And that brings about a problem. So what Reploids are, that's right, I was talking about what Reploids are. So they're basically like robots with the identity of being given choice, given a soul. And they basically exist to serve humanity. Dr. Light's dreams had always been to have Reploids and people live together, like in harmony, working together, solving problems together. So what you have here in Neo Arcadia is a utopia built on the idea that Reploids are here to make the humans, you know, safe and protect them. But the Reploids are also taking up too much energy for the humans to be able to live. So what's going on is that innocent Reploids are being called Mavericks, labeled as Mavericks, and what that does is destroys them, so therefore the energy problem is quote-unquote solved. After all, if there are less Reploids to take energy, then there's no problem. So hey, Thanos would have, you know, a field day with this game. And here we're introduced to our first real boss. He's a Mutos Reploid called Aztec Falcon. And he's basically the guy in charge of this facility. And if you don't know his strategies, he can be kind of tough to fight. So he has electric attacks and like a magnet wave, and then he's also got little like pew-pew lasers. But once you have his pattern down, he cuts real good. Cuts real good. This guy was scared. I mean, what's like so crazy about this place is kind of how inhumane it is. These guys are being crushed. Like they're seeing a compactor come down to like crush the life out of them. Like it's not even just like an EMP or like a turn-off switch. No, these people are being quote-unquote retired in the most like frightening way possible. But we were able to save them. I imagine, I've never actually had it happen to me because I always either died before then. If you take too long to do that boss fight, then these guys are crushed and they will die. And then you'll probably lose points for your mission objective. Return to base. Okay, so see that one went a lot better, other than a little bit of damage I took, and it could have been a bit faster. Great time, great score.